Using Excel, you can format numbers so that they appear with a specific number of decimal places. You can include or exclude the thousands separator. You can have a currency symbol if that's what you are interested in, or even display a number as a percentage. These formatting options are accessible from the ribbon and the Home tab in the number palette. Using these tools, I can make some adjustments, or I can go to the number format dialog box where I have the ability to make all possible changes. The first thing you need to do is to select the cell or cells you want to format. So I will select cells B2 to F13. And then I will go to the number palette and click on the button on the top bottom right corner to open the related dialog box. The general format is selected by default. This setting doesn't apply any formatting to our cells, but it just displays the numbers as you type them in. The first thing I want you to look at is the category called number. This is right here in this list on the right side. I will select it, and as you can see, using this category you have the option to set how many decimal places are displayed, whether or not the thousands separator will be visible, and how you want the negative numbers to appear. Notice that there are various ways you can display negative numbers. So I will choose to have no decimal places by reducing the decimal number to 0, and I want the thousands separator to be visible, so I will activate that setting. Notice in the area called sample on the top of our dialog box that a comma appeared in the number. Generally, this area is showing you how your formatting choices will be applied to your numbers. Another change I want to make is to display negative numbers in red with a parenthesis around the number, so I will choose the last option for negative numbers. To apply the choices I made, I will press OK, and let's see the results for a moment. Negative numbers are displayed in red and inside the parentheses. There are no decimal digits, and as you can see in cells like C2 or B3, there is a comma placed inside the number, which is the thousands separator. It's important to emphasize that the actual data in the cells are neither lost nor altered. I will click on cell C2, and as I have already pointed out many times by now in previous lessons, you can see the real data of the cell in the formula bar. What appears in the cell is only the result of the formatting I chose. If Excel uses cell C2 in a calculation, the value that is used is the one shown in the formula bar and not the rounded value displayed in the cell. Generally, rounding occurs according to the decimal places we set, but I don't want to go into that just now. The general idea of formatting numbers is to make your data easier for a human to understand. The calculations are done with the actual data that exists in the cell, but for humans it's easier to understand numbers if they are given in a format that points out what is really important to see. Now let me change this formatting again. I will select the same range B2 to F13. I will go to the number palette and I will open the dialog box. Notice that the dialog box opens in the number category. That happened because Excel recognized that all selected cells have this format. I can now choose different settings like having 3 decimal places, no thousands separator, and displaying negative numbers in red without the parentheses. I will press OK, and notice that in the selected range, negative numbers are now red but not in a parenthesis anymore. Also, there's no thousand separator, and 3 decimal digits are displayed. I'm sure that it is harder for you to understand the numbers now that they have 3 decimal digits. That's why what I meant when I said that formatting numbers is all about making them easier for a human to understand. I will use the undo button to go back to the previous format, and I'm sure that now is much easier for you to read the numbers. I will press the redo button to return to the last format, and I will move on now. Let's look at the currency category. I will open the dialog box once again here from the number palette, and this time I will select the currency option from the categories list. Let's see the differences. First of all, in the currency format, there is always a thousands separator. Notice that there is not an option to remove it. I will always have a thousand separator regardless of whether I want it or not when I have the currency category chosen. I can choose the number of decimal places, let's say 4 here, And I can do one more thing. I can select the symbol to represent the kind of currency I want, whether that will be dollars, euros, or any other. I will click on the arrow to open the list. And here you can see that all the world's currencies are available. I will scroll a bit to find the euro sign. What I want is to find the euro sign that goes after the number. So I may have to scroll down a bit for a while. Okay, here it is. So I will select it and I will press OK to apply the formatting. Notice that the column width increased automatically because the data now requires more space for the 3 decimal digits and the euro symbol. Also notice that the formatting I applied earlier for the negative numbers still exists. That's why negative numbers are in red. I will change this. I will open the dialog box of the number palette again. I will go to the number category, choose red color and the number to appear inside parentheses for a negative number, and I will go back to the currency category. Notice that it kept the same setting for negative numbers. It didn't select the first option with black letters and the minus in front of the number when I switched categories. Generally, common elements between number formatting and the currency formatting are preserved when I switch between these two categories. I will now change it to a simpler display with the minus and black letters, and I will press OK to apply the changes. Let me now click on a cell to deselect the range so that you can see the currency format better. So this is the currency format. Another format that is interesting is the accounting format, which is similar to currency. I will select the range B2 to F13 again. I will open the dialog box from the number palette and I will choose accounting. Without making any changes, I will directly press OK. You can visually directly recognize some changes. Notice, for example, that negative numbers are displayed with parentheses again. Also, you might notice that all euro symbols are aligned now. There are other differences as well, but only those involved into accounting will find them useful. For the rest of us, I believe there is no value in discussing it in more depth. Just keep in mind that this format exists and can be selected if required. Let's see now that some of the formatting options can be applied directly from the number palette on the ribbon without the need to open the dialog box. I will open the number format list from the ribbon and I will choose the option number. This automatically applies this format to the selected area. Just below the list, there are some tools that help me apply immediately some of the most common formatting options. I will click the tool with the comma as an icon, which activates the thousands separator. You can see in the bigger numbers, as in the one in cell C2, that the comma appeared in the thousands place. Notice that the list now doesn't say number, but accounting. I won't explain why this happened because it will require some knowledge from the advanced level courses, so just be aware that something like this can happen. At the end of this row of tools, there are also two for increasing and decreasing the number of decimal places. I'll click the decrease button twice so that numbers are displayed without decimal digits. Now I will click the increase button twice to display 2 decimal digits again. Let's now look at the first button in this line, which is for setting the accounting format. I will open the list of this tool and choose English United States, so the dollar sign appeared. I will open the list again and now I will choose the euro symbol. Remember that these tools are also in the dialog box of the number palette, but since they are frequently used, they are displayed on the ribbon for easier access. There's another type of formatting I want to look at. It's the percentage format. I will select the range H2 to H13. It's important to notice that in this range, the values are between 0 and 1. Usually, it is numbers of this kind that you will want to format as percentages. Let's see what I mean. In the number palette, there is another button I haven't explained yet, which is the percentage button. I'll click on it, and as you can see, the values are formatted to percentages. The 0.66 in cell H2 became 66%, 0.14 in H9 became 14%, and so on. If I do this with numbers greater than 1, what happens is that a number like 2, for example, becomes 200%, or 10 becomes 1000%. This formatting multiplies the number in the cell by 100 and shows us the result of this multiplication with the percent symbol at the end. When cells have the percent format applied, Excel treats the numbers I enter in these cells in a different way. See what I mean? I will click on cell H2. I will type the number 2. Earlier I said that the 2 will be formatted as 200%, but now I'm entering this value to a cell that already has the percentage format. I will press enter and the value 2% instead of 200% is entered. So when a cell already has a percentage format, the value that you enter is considered the final percentage. The real value that is stored, however, is the one divided by 100. Let's see this. I will select H2. I will open the list of formats directly from the ribbon and I will choose the number formatting. Notice that the real value that is displayed now is the number 0.02. Now that the formatting of the cell is number again, I will type the number 2 and I will press enter. I will select cell H2 again and I will click on the percentage tool to apply percentage formatting and see what happens. As you can see, 2 indeed became 200%. So pay attention to this detail. When I apply percentage formatting to a cell, what I see is the cell value multiplied by 100. When a cell already has percentage formatting and I enter a value into it, the number that is actually stored in the cell is the result of dividing the value by 100. Okay, let's see now how I can display decimal digits in percentages. I will select the range H2 to H13 again, and instead of clicking the button in the number palette, I will open the dialog box. See that the percentage category is selected. In this category, the only change I can do is to select how many decimal places I want to be displayed. I will choose 1 and I will press OK. So now you can see that the decimal digits are displayed like in cell H4, where the value 0.322 became 32.2%. What you need to remember from this lesson is that when you have numbers in cells, you can select them and then choose how you want the numbers to be displayed, either from the tools directly in the number palette or from the dialog box of this palette. There are, of course, many other formatting options here. Some of them will be discussed in future lessons, but all categories are covered in the advanced level Excel courses, where you will see how you can format numbers exactly as you want without any restrictions or limitation. That's all for this lesson. Thank you for watching.